So you're looking at buying a home in Orlando. Maybe it's your first place. Maybe it's an investment property. Doesn't matter. Either way, you need to know what you're walking into with HOAs before you sign anything, because that monthly fee they tell you about when you're shopping around, it's probably going to go up. That pool, clubhouse that they promised you might not even be built yet. And that nice quiet neighborhood with all the rules to keep things looking good that you bought into, one day the builder leaves and your neighbor down the street is the one deciding what you can and can't do with your own house. I've got Phil here with me today, and we're going to walk you through everything. What your HOACs actually pay for, why they go up after you move in, what happens when the builder hands things off, and whether you can even put a pool in your own backyard. If you're buying in Florida, especially new construction, you cannot skip this one. So stick around, and as always, this information is on the house.
So my next question is about HOAs. Not a huge fan, I gotta be honest. They're not high on my list. I realize they exist for a good reason, but what do we need to know about HOAs in new construction?
Okay, so Orlando and most of Florida, especially as you get closer to the beaches and everything, it's just unavoidable. I do have a couple listings right at the moment without HOAs, and those are so rare for me that I put an addendum in my file to get them to sign off that it's an HOA. And I'm like, oh wait, this is a rare case that they don't have one. So it's very unavoidable in anything new construction, especially. Like these are homes built in the 70s and they're in small pockets within Orlando. But anything built new construction is absolutely gonna have an HOA. It's absolutely unavoidable. They are getting better because they are bundling more things within the costs. And a lot of communities are having more homes to spread out that cost. So they're keeping the cost down, but there's still some that are really picky and exist for the reason that you don't like them.
So what do the HOAs actually cover? And are there some surprises?
Always, yep. So they're gonna cover something different in every community because like I just shot some film in a brand new community that had a big guard gate going up. And I'm like, oh, this is going to be a gated community. So the fact that it's a gated community, I already know without a doubt, first of all, it's new construction, it has an HOA. Second of all, it's gated. So that's going to up the price because now you either have to have somebody, a live guard there all the time and pay them and have more insurance, or it's just going to be an automatic gate where you have a clicker or a sticker on your car that lets you through. But either way, that's going to up the cost. A lot of HOAs, what I'm seeing in the past 3 or 4 years is they're including cable and internet. So the builder is going in pre-negotiating with a cable provider. Hey, we're going to put high-speed 1 gig service within the whole community. Everyone's going to have the same thing, and it's going to be bundled in your HOA. And then your HOA will negotiate any price increases versus the cable company coming to you, Phil, individually and saying, hey, your package is up, we're going to renew you, and it's going to double. Because it's built into the HOA.
Sorry, this is a good segue. I had a question here. How much do these HOA fees typically go up after the community's finished? What happens with that?
Yeah, so that's a big thing too, because again, every community's gonna be different. Every builder's gonna set this up in a different way. Typically, what I'm seeing lately is that once the builder is completely done, they're going to turn it over to a professional management company. So the builder is the HOA while it's being built. And then once they build that last house and they say, okay, we're done, then you get a professional management company who's going to take over. And then some are taking over where the community has their own board so that they can be in control. But now your neighbors are your bosses with the HOA. And typically the people that like to be on the HOA boards are the type of people that are very strict about community standards and the rules. So it's hard to investigate that stuff up front because you never know. The builder is going to tell you when you buy that house, they're going to tell you one thing, but something completely different can happen once they turn it over to you. So it's very difficult for me to know or for you to really get a final answer until it happens, unfortunately.
Fair enough. What's the difference between early phase HOA costs and later phase costs?
Yeah, so the same thing. So typically they're going to lure you in, and I just went through this several times this year. I sold several new construction homes, and they've already gone up. So the initial HOA they might say it's only $125 a month, and it includes cable and internet and the clubhouse and the pool, and that's all great. But but the clubhouse isn't built yet. So they tell you that it includes that, but it's not even there. So then by the time phase 2 is built, they're going to start the clubhouse. And then the clubhouse gets built, and now they've got insurance and risk and maintenance and everything. And then that's when it goes up, because now they've got a physical structure and costs to maintain. So that's when they typically go up. And it's unfortunately it's a surprise to everybody, because we don't know how much it's going to go up or exactly when, but it will.
So you mentioned pools. Can I put a pool in my backyard or later on?
Yeah, typically, again, so most builders don't allow you to build a pool from the construction start of it. There are a few builders that still allow that and still tout that, because it's rare now. Because typically, if you build a pool with a builder, and then for some reason you don't wind up buying that house, they've got a house with a pool that they have to resell. And it's much harder to sell because you picked out the pool, the shape, the size, the depth, the tile, and they don't want to have that burden. So first of all, if they do allow it, they're going to ask for a really big deposit, probably 50% of the deposit of the cost of the pool up front. So if you're building a $100,000 pool, you're going to have to give that builder $50,000 just for the pool, not on the house or anything. So if you really, really want it, if it's a must-have, it's a much easier process for you as a consumer, because you move in the house and the pool's already ready, versus the builder building the house, putting in nice lawn and landscaping and irrigation, and then you coming up, digging it all up and having to build that pool. So it's possible. Most builders, most lots, I will say with a good amount of certainty, they build them specifically large enough for pools. There are restrictions if you're in a 55 plus or townhouse and things like that, but most lots are going to be able to have a pool built. All right, Phil, one thing I do to close out all my videos is tell my viewers the name of my channel. It's called On the House. Will you help me close it out?
Absolutely.
All right. So as always, this information was on the house.